But let's go ahead and hop on in to our next match. We have a best of 3. It's a TVP, and spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Hard Lead, we have Navi's Spirit. His opponent in the upper left-hand corner in the blue, it's GunGFuBanDa. So Spirit, very strong Terran player. See how he does here against GunGFu. You know, I said it earlier when we were casting GunGFu. I haven't seen GunGFu as much lately, personally. I'm not saying he hasn't been playing. He probably has been. I just haven't seen him much, so I don't know like where he's at right now. Generally speaking, I would say Spirit's going to be the favorite here, unless GunGFu has really stepped his game up since I was last casting him. We'll see what GunGFu ends up bringing to this. Spirit, I expect to play pretty standard, but you might see something a bit cheeky out of him. I think we've seen some like 2 base all-ins. For sure a possibility in pretty much any TVT or TVP anywhere. Seattle needs underwater homes. Underwater homes. Now there's a thought. That sounds super expensive. But that would be cool. I wonder if that's a thing somewhere. Underwater living. It's like build something on the... There's a lot of water here to build under. Just have like an elevator up to a dock. Just off the pier. Underground tunnels to an underground elevator shaft. I mean, I could see that working, honestly. I just feel like it'd be way too expensive. But then the land here is already too expensive, so, you know, maybe that's what we need. Maybe that's what Seattle needs. Underwater living. There's a lot of Washington-based people in the chat. That's kind of funny. Must be a good StarCraft scene up here. Maybe I should put on a LAN. Think we can get funding for a StarCraft LAN in Seattle? I would love for them to do like a DreamHack up here. I doubt we'll see it, but like a DreamHack Seattle would just be so sick. Maybe at the next PAX can look into putting on a StarCraft tournament. That'd be pretty cool. I think they used to have StarCraft stuff at PAX, right? I've never been to a PAX before. All right, Spirit's moving out. He's got a siege tank. He's got a bunch of Marines that do not have stim, and he has a Cyclone. And Blink is about 3/4 of the way done for GunGFu. Uh-oh. This is looking like a game-ending attack here for Spirit. GunGFu tries to start up an Immortal, but he's supply blocked after losing that pylon. Doesn't have the empty supply to get that Immortal out. Blink is never gonna finish. And this game looked pretty normal until Spirit just went for a big, powerful 2-base attack. Not even an all-in, just a committed attack here with these early game units. But catches GunGFu with a Twilight Council in the front. If Blink was finishing right now, GunGFu I think would just be fine. Like this would be fine for him if he just had like 2 gates out here that died. But because he lost that Twilight Council, he has no tech. So far away from actually getting Blink. The Immortal finally gets out. I think GunGFu's still going to be okay, but man, this is so much more painful than it should be for him because he had that Twilight Council out front. And now, going to run into the siege tank. He's going to eat a couple of tank shots, loses a Stalker. And at the same time, auto turret harassing the main base. Not getting any kills, but just huge amounts of lost mining time. Spirit going to reinforce. This is spotted by the Observer. But GunGFu, I mean, only just now restarting Blink. That's painful. However, Spirit going to get caught here. Picks up the siege tanks. Backs out. He could try to take this down if he sieges up over here, and it looks like that's kind of what he's going to do. He needs to send the medevac over to this side. I feel like he could just kill this. I don't think GunGFu can stop him right now. GunGFu doing a good job keeping tabs on this army. Obviously, the Observer helping. Spirit has not recognized that there's an Observer following him just yet. I feel like a scan here would be super good. Spirit's third base is not quite done yet. Of course, GunGFu's been mining from this a long time. He's at 65 probes. His mining's been pretty fantastic. So GunGFu should be okay. It's just the problem is his tech is still lagging behind where he'd like it to be. Blink is almost done. He's got a Colossus on the way out, but he's just like struggling to deal with the repositioning here of Spirit in the meantime. But Spirit hasn't been able to really get any damage done. Stim is done, and there's 3 medevacs here, so Spirit could try to poke in. I feel like a big Stim here could actually be huge. Oh, a big Stim and pulls back. It's a lot of damage to his units that isn't really for anything right now, but that first Colossus is here. And while the tanks are shelling away, it's going to make it easier for GunGFu to hold on. Can he hold on? Base is taking some damage. The tank needs to finish off the shield battery. And then GunGFu gonna dive in on top of this, but there's so many Marines. Oh no, the Stalkers and Zealots are all gone. The Colossus and Immortal on their own. I don't think they can stand up to this. Maybe they can. The Bio getting absolutely shredded by the one Colossus. It's got 15 kills. Spirit overcommitting, and now he will get out of there with his 3 siege tanks. But he kills the third base, and that is the big deal there. Also resetting the entire gateway force of GunGFu. The auto turret comes back in, gets a few probe kills too, just to add insult to injury. Looks like that Raven will die. Did I call it an Archon? I feel like I've lost my entire self here. Brain's not working. Spirit gonna pull the SCVs away. He's got enough bio to reinforce. God, these Colossi are still just crushing it. 20 kills, but then they get crushed. Spirit gonna take down the rest of GunGFu's army. With that, GG gets called. Of course, Roddy is always welcome to use my stream whenever applicable, even when it's not. Even if he was like not waiting for the game, he could just put it on. Just have it on in the background. All right, we got Roddy in the game 2 lobby. So we're good to go. Thank you for the shout out, Roddy. I appreciate it. He's a sweetheart. I love that he asked too if he could use my stream. Even though Roddy for sure knows that he can use my stream anytime he wants. But he asked anyways because he's just such a good and kind-hearted person. But all right, we're going to get into game number 2 now. Words are hard. And spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Oceanborn, up 1-0. We have our red Terran player for Natus Vincere. Spirit.
He's a man, but he's also a chicken.
Roddy gifting a sub, but not just gifting a community sub. Gifting a sub specifically to Pokimane. That is incredibly based. That's what we love to see. Roddy, thank you so much. What a hero. What an absolute hero. That's just too good. All right, our Protoss in the lower right. It is GunGFu. Honestly, I feel like did a good job in that game considering the fact that Blink was canceled and his tech was just halted in its tracks. Was set back like 2 full minutes. I feel like GunGFu did a good job staying alive in that game, but it all came to a head when he wasn't able to defend that third base. Oh, Roddy, what a hero. Oh my god, did GunGFu just kill an SCV? He's going for a second one. This is a bloodthirsty probe here. Now I feel like I should go watch a Pokemon stream. This SCV getting low, dude. Getting low, getting low, getting low. To the window, to the wall, to the wall. Oops, didn't mean to disable the sound. Reaper is out for Spirit, so the probe has to run away. Doesn't get the kill on the second one. It's just a Stargate opener here from GunGFu. He's learned his lesson, though, not putting his tech on the front. In before Spirit just drops in the main and kills the Stargate. Or, like, kills the follow-up tech anyways. I hope not. It would be funny, though. It would be funny. Well, Spirit going for a double Reaper straight into the Cyclone. So going to try to put some pressure on here to try to be a little bit annoying. I like the shield battery for GunGFu. It's way back here, but Spirit sees it. Gets pushed away by the Adept. Cyclone coming across. But by the time it gets here, there should be another unit out for GunGFu. It's just all Adepts. It's Adepts all the way down. Let's just keep the Cyclone with the 2 Reapers. Gonna poke at this Adept. There is 1 Phoenix out. It's just gonna use it to lift the 1 Reaper. The other one will get killed. This one's gonna go down as well. Just drops down and there's 3 Adepts surrounding him. Poor guy. Uh-oh, this Cyclone's in some trouble. The Adepts are coming out. The Phoenixes want to lift it up. They will lift it up. Does it have a friend? Got 2 Widow Mines as a friend. I don't think that's going to be enough here. It looks like these Adepts will finish this off as it drops down. But, oh, can we get a big hit? No. GunGFu, too smart. Sees it. He's paying attention. He knows, dude. Gonna try to do a cheeky little trick here. Doesn't quite get it. Doesn't quite get it. All right, and the rest of the units will push him away. Could have been cute. Could have been cute. Didn't quite happen. Robo follow-up to the Phoenixes coming out here. So GunGFu going to be heading towards Colossi and should be heading towards the 3rd base here fairly soon. All as it should be. We don't see a 3rd CC yet for Spirit, but it's still pretty early. I imagine we'll see a 3rd Rax before we see a 3rd CC. Maybe? Kind of guessing, but we'll see. A lot of tech coming up here for GunGFu. So not just going into the Colossi and a 3rd base, but also getting a Forge and a Twilight Council. So GunGFu Probably not going to have like a ton of units to work with for a little while here. As he's getting towards the, you know, getting up in that tech, starts up +1. Probably going to start up, what is it, Thermal Lance here. Twilight Council might work on charge. We'll be getting a lot of upgrades, a lot of tech. Spirit getting his own +1, so the upgrade's going to be relatively similar timing. There's that third barracks, but still no third command center. The Phoenixes come in, pick off a couple of SCVs, back out. Bio not nearby enough to do anything. Because it looks like Spirit's going to go for a cheeky little attack here. A couple of tanks, a few Vikings as well to help defend against the Phoenixes. But GunGFu knows this is coming, sees it with the Observer. He's going to be able to see this siege up here. And, ooh, actually going to try to jump on top of it. Spirit getting caught out. One tank goes down. The other one will get up. I feel like GunGFu could have dove for that, but decides against it. Combat Shields is done for Spirit, but he didn't get Stim. So Stim is only just now starting up. The Spirit's just going to bag up. I kind of like GunGFu's position here, though. He's got a lot of tech that is going to be able to pay off now. Charge +1 and Thermal Lance wall. Finish up before any follow-up engagement. Spirit's third base feels very late. It's not even on location. But I guess that would be very susceptible to Phoenix play. Speaking of which, Phoenix is going to come back in. There's no turret here. And that's just going to be a bunch of dead SCVs. That was like 5 SCVs. Splits off the low Phoenix just to go check out what's going on, see if he can't get anything else. Can't for now. GunGFu's up 15 workers at the moment. The army supplies are even, but I don't know. Generally, I feel like GunGFu's in a better spot. He's going to take his 4th base, start that up before Spirit even gets his 3rd on the location here. The economic advantage for GunGFu stands strong, and now Spirit committed to an earlier attack. I think he's going to have to wait until at least 150 supply before they can take another engagement. He's got ghosts on the way out. Those can help quite a bit. Ooh, GunGFu's going to push out. He is ahead a bit of the army supply, but he will be pushing into a couple of siege tanks, 3 siege tanks actually, with a 4th one popping out now. He's got to be a little bit careful. He does have vision, but not a ton of vision. Well, Phoenix is going to hit over here, draw some units over. He's got some adepts, going to threaten to shade into the 3rd. Sensor tower is going to go up, and we'll see this army immediately. But it feels like GunGFu's going to commit. He's up 20 army supply now. Is that enough to crack into this Terran and get some damage done? You got the Temple Archives, but no Storms. It's just for the Archons. Again, there are some ghosts out. War Prism heading into the main base, drawing a lot of units up to deal with it. That means that there's less units down here for Spirit. Sensor tower will fall. Ghost moving forward, going to land some EMPs, beautiful EMPs before they die. The War Prism stays alive, but it dropped all its zealots. They died. Now most of that bio can come back down. A 5th siege tank is here. But now Spirit is playing super defensively on his 3 bases. GunGFu taking a 5th behind this. He's now got double upgrades on the way, so while Spirit has 1-1 finished up, his armory just started. Meanwhile, 2-1, or 3-1, excuse me, is on the way for GunGFu. So he's going to take a big army supply lead, big army upgrade lead, excuse me. While GunGFu drops in with a bunch of zealots that will get cleaned up. There's a DT here as well, just to be extra annoying. Turret going to go down. The War Prism just barely stays alive. I'd love if one Viking went up there, but it gets recalled anyways. GunGFu still posturing outside, has some disruptors out now. The tank count is up to 6. A very significant amount of siege tanks here for Spirit. GunGFu's going to pull the pressure off. And Spirit, he's going to move out and take a 4th base. I just feel like as this game gets longer, I love GunGFu's position. He's got DT Blink on the way. He's got a 5th base coming up. He's nearing max and should be starting to bank up a little bit soon. He's even going to poke in at this 4th base. The tanks are not really nearby. They're going to get lifted and taken out. Disruptor Nova's covering any retreat. Looks like the 4th base is going to stay alive as GunGFu pulls back up to the high ground. Spirit is chasing with this bio, trying to get a good position on this army. Scans forward to see what is there. The Vikings chipping away at the Phoenix, or at the Colossi. The Phoenix is out of position a little bit. And Spirit's bringing his tanks with this. Oh, and as those tanks siege up, they are going to dominate this ground force. The Phoenix is trying to lift them up. That means they're not there to super fight the Vikings, but it looks like the Vikings are focused on the Phoenixes and not the Colossi. So still 2 Colossi standing strong, and Spirit forced to pull back as every single tank got killed in that engagement. And now we've got some units coming in here along with the Warp Prism that's going to siege up in the main base. Spirit needs to go back and defend, but now his planetary is completely exposed. Comes back over to defend that. Disruptor Nova is keeping him zoned away. That means more Zealots are going to be able to warp into the main base. The Armory goes down before +2 armor is ever able to start up. I think this eBay is going to fall as well. Spirit is just falling further and further behind as GunGFu is just outdoing him in this game. GunGFu drops his 6th base during this. His 5th is mining. He's got 86 probes. In the meantime, he's brought Spirit down to 58 SCVs. Spirit's economy is just not looking great. That 3rd base is like completely devoid of workers. And I think this is, we're getting close to the end here as GunGFu dives in with his main army at the 3rd base, sending the Disruptor Novas forward, keeping Spirit back. The 3rd might just die here. Oh. Disruptor not quite able to connect, but I don't think it's even going to matter. GunGFu's just got too much. Spirit's got not really anything going for him at all. There's 10 more Stalkers warp in to join with this army. Spirit is staying alive, but only just barely. These 2 Immortals are kind of getting caught here, but look at all this army chasing 2 Immortals while the rest of the army just moves in. Oh no, dude. Yeah, and GG gets called. Spirit just doesn't have anything left to fight with. GunGFu ties us up 1-1. Great game there for GunGFu. I mean, really, really solid. That time, Spirit's attack just got pushed away immediately. And it was just a good one. Just a good one there for GunGFu. All that tech he went for when he took his 3rd base ended up paying off big dividends. I love this Navy SEAL story. Could be a Navy SEAL. Turned out he trades SEALs to sniff out underwater nuclear materials for the Navy. Here's the question. What color was the SEAL? Because I feel like if that SEAL was dark blue, still counts. I'm going to grab some water. We are in the lobby for game number 3. So we'll be getting going on this one shortly. We'll be right back to finish off the series. Game number 3. Getting into Alcyone. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner, we have Natus Vincier's Spirit. His opponent in the upper right, it is GunGFuBanDa. We're all tied up. It is 1-1. So far, Spirit has had some early attacks. Game 1, obviously, that first tank marine push worked really, really well for him. Put him in a very good position tech-wise against his opponent. But Game 2 kind of did the opposite, right? He ended up just losing some units for free. And then GunGFu off the back of that, teching like crazy. And it feels like these games are decided by whether or not GunGFu can get his tech up. Because Game 2, it felt like Spirit was just behind and couldn't really do anything about it. Played out beautifully for GunGFu. We'll have to see what these players got for us in game number 3 here. Let's probe. Again, bloodthirsty, looking for a kill on an SCV. Doesn't look like he's going to get it, though. Starting to feel a little sleepy. So I don't like feeling sleepy. It's hard to cast when you're tired. I'm not even really that tired. I just feeling kind of lethargic today, you know? You guys ever just have a day where you're like, man, I'm just low on the energy, low on the juice? Oh, probe comes back in. Can it get the kill? Not quite. SCV gonna pull away. 2 Marines on the way. Hold on. Can the probe do it? Ooh, it's diving for it. 5 hit points on that SCV. But it's gonna bring him back to the Reaper. That SCV tricked him. Bamboozled him. We have another Stargate opener here for GunGFu. Generally, I do like Phoenix openers against Terran. I guess we've seen less of them since Cyclone. Some like Cyclone openers can be really good against Phoenixes, but in general, I just feel like the Phoenix openers are so good. Even against Cyclones, being able to lift up Cyclones can be incredibly useful. Cyclone drops can be really annoying to deal with, but obviously the Phoenixes can negate those quite a bit. Robo follow-up once again. So GunGFu going for the same kind of thing he did last game, but this game Spirit, instead of going for a tank push, it looks like it is going to be a Cyclone Marine push. His third Cyclone about to pop. A Liberator coming up behind this as well, as the medevac is heading over with a few more units to reinforce. The Phoenixes, I believe, spotted this, so GunGFu going to try to hold the top of the ramp. We'll see if Spirit is able to take advantage of the Phoenix opener from GunGFu. Ooh, Pylon getting hit here. That could be really annoying. Taking that down. A backup Pylon has been put down. The Reaper gets killed, but there's still high ground vision thanks to the medevac. Oh no, the Adepts finished their shade. I think that was an accident. I think GunGFu meant to cancel that. He's going to lose all of those Adepts. And suddenly as this Pylon, I mean, it's not the only Pylon powering this goes down, but Stargate in some trouble now. There's 4 Phoenixes here, but not a lot on the ground. 5th Phoenix does pop out. Stargate getting very low. An Immortal being perna boosted. GunGFu not going to bother trying to save that Stargate, but the Gateway and the Cybercore also taking a lot of damage now, man. Phoenix is going to the other side of the map. Try to pick some units off. Everything gets taken out. I mean, the Phoenixes could kill Marines here. It's not the worst use of their energy. Gonna go for some SCVs as well. Woo. Just barely doesn't lose that Phoenix, but at the same time, Spirit says, all right, your Phoenixes aren't here. I'm gonna dive in. Looks like this Liberator got a couple of kills. It's somehow going to escape and get out here into the natural and start doing some damage to an Immortal. Get a couple of probes before it gets taken down by the recalled Phoenixes. We're going to chase this medevac back and stop any more damage from getting done. 6 probes do go down, though. But GunGFu holds on despite losing a lot of his tech. He is going to stay alive. Scan to see if there's a third. There is not. That's going to make Spirit feel real good. But, I mean, Spirit got cleaned up there. The trades end up being fairly even. Spirit's ahead a couple of workers as GunGFu puts down his third base. The third of Spirit is on the way. But now the Phoenixes can take control back a little bit. They're going to pick off this SCV. Just kind of poke around a little bit. Could try to go for a siege tank. It'd be kind of cute, actually. Stim is nearly done, so he does have to be a little bit more careful as Stim completes. And Vikings are out now, too. GunGFu also getting his first Colossus out. A Colossus walking across the map alone always feels like the most vulnerable thing in the world. It really does feel like a big giraffe, but it's out here on its own.
The mighty giraffe walks across the plains, stepping through the watchtower. It is extremely vulnerable out here to its natural enemy, the Stim Marauder. Fortunately for this giraffe, the Marauders are locked safely in the Terran's base, and it will join its friends that can protect it. The giraffe requires its friends to stay alive. Without them in this symbiotic relationship, not only would the giraffe be in danger, but its friends, the little crabs, would also be in danger, as well as the birds that perch on its head. This relationship helps keep them safe from the predators, the Marines and the Marauders. But it is no guarantee of safety. And the Terran, making its own birds, will destroy the giraffe. And we see the symbiotic relationship failing as the birds leave their perch of the Colossus giraffe head. And now, the natural predator of the Protoss, the Terran, is here to finish the job and destroy the base. Thank you, Mr. Attenborough, for giving us that rousing commentary of the animal kingdom. As Spirit just straight up kills the third. He kills the one Colossus that was there, kills the third, and he's going to keep on pushing. The Phoenixes go across the map again, but I feel like they needed to be back at home. I don't know. Maybe there's just too many Vikings. Spirit now going to land the Vikings to help in the ground army. No disruptors or anything out for GunGFu. Spirit going to dive forward. He's got so much DPS. There is Storm, though. Hold on. Those Storms landing. Are there any more? I don't think there's any more. Super Shield Battery turns on. Good focus fire here. The Immortal's going to take down all the siege tanks. You know what? Man, GunGFu just smashed that attack. It looks so terrifying. It looked like there was no chance GunGFu was going to live through that, and he just absolutely does. Even going to pick off some of these units that weren't able to get picked up in the medevacs. Spirit got to run home, tail between legs, as GunGFu's new third base finishes up. I still like Spirit's position better, but that went from I thought Spirit was about to win the game to we're kind of in an even position here, and GunGFu's back out on the map. He did kill all those tanks. He lost many of his Immortals. 2 of his Immortals. He's still got 2 left.
I'm surprised we're not seeing anything else come out of the Robo. He's got a second Robo on the way. Okay, maybe it's time to start building Colossi again. He killed a lot of the Vikings too, so there's only 4 Vikings left right now. The big problem for GunGFu though is this feels like a 4th base, but it's not. It's his 3rd, right? He lost his 3rd. That's very painful. And now as Spirit takes a 4th, GunGFu is going to be behind a full base against the Terran. He does have 4 High Templar in the Prism. Second Robo is almost done. He's trying to get some Disruptors out. GunGFu's army is going to be quite strong, but Spirit is ahead in army supply. He's got Ghosts coming out. He still has a few tanks. 2 tanks. And a lot of bio. He's also ahead in upgrades, but not by much. His 2-2 just started, and that +1 armor is about to finish for GunGFu. So it's going to be a while before those upgrades finish up for Spirit. GunGFu trying to take the 4th base over here, but the bio is nearby, and I don't think GunGFu is fully ready for that. But, ooh, can he land a Storm? He has to zone away the Vikings. The Vikings doing a great job keeping that Prism back. There are Ghosts in this army as well. Oh my god, that's a juicy Storm! Spirit just walks through it twice the entire duration of that Storm and loses a bunch of Marines because of it. He's got to siege up these tanks. Scans up to the high ground. Zealots on the other side of the map going for a counterattack here. There is quite a bit of bio nearby, though, to clean this up. The 4th base is canceled. EMPs land on a lot of the High Templar here. Super Shield Battery turns on to try to keep everything shielded up. As now the tanks, they're in range of the Assimilator. But GunGFu's in some trouble. This push from Spirit is looking scary. The High Templar not able to get any storms off, at least not yet. There's one. The bio is zoned back. The tanks have been killed. Spirit ends up ahead. 40, 30, what is this? 24 army supply. 24 supply. Jeez, words. They're hard. The Zealots from the counterattack came back, and now they're going to run back out here again. Spirit has some units nearby, but they are running to reinforce right now. Spirit's got to be a little bit careful here as he starts sending everything back to deal with this run by. SCV's again running away from that 3rd base. Spirit comes home. He will defend this, but it has pulled all the pressure off of GunGFu for now. GunGFu has taken this 4th over to the right. We'll finally have his 4th base up and running. The income has been very Spirit favored in this game, which is why he is just 20 army supply ahead. Now Spirit's going to move out once again. GunGFu's army starting to look pretty strong, pretty scary though. The Vikings have all died, so there's no Vikings to take down these 2 Colossi, and I like the fact that the Colossi are starting to come out again. Put out that consistent damage. There's still a couple of tanks here, but only 2. Not a crazy amount of damage, especially as they don't have any upgrades. GunGFu does have that +1 armor to just help defend against the siege tanks. EMP is going down. Spirit's going to try to POLT the Nexus, and he is going to get it. Even through the overcharged shield battery, and he draws the army away, and uh-oh, that means Spirit can move in on this base. Oh my god. It's Captain America. POLT coming back in Spirit's body right now to take down 2 Nexuses in a flash. And now Spirit keeping the pressure on both sides. He's going to go into the main base. Oh, get the main Nexus. Get the main Nexus, Spirit. Spirit, target down the Nexus. Target down the Nexus, please. Get it. Let's go. He's going to knock GunGFu down to 1 Nexus. He just lifts up, boosts away. Disruptor Nova goes out, but there's only 1 Phoenix here. So he's going to be able to get out. And suddenly GunGFu, he's long distance mining everywhere to his natural Nexus. And that's a problem. Oh my god, Spirit going to dive in again. The storms are huge, but I think he's going to force the cancel on this base anyways. It's a sacrificial play. But GunGFu supply blocked. Oh man. That's so painful for GunGFu right now. He's got no money. His income is just in the garbage. He's got 57 probes, but he's mining so inefficiently with them. Meanwhile, Spirit is just full chilling on 81 SCVs on 4 bases. His 5th CC is finishing up. He's got a 6th on the way. GunGFu is still supply blocked. He's trying to double expand, trying to take this base again. GunGFu's army is big and it's scary. 3-3 is still pretty far away for both players, but it's actually fairly even. So our upgrades should be pretty even across the board here. Yeah, GunGFu's army is still scary. But I feel like the problem here is Spirit is maxed. Awesome storms going down. Not the best storms, but they do hit, cause some damage. Spirit, it looks like he wants to push forward. There's no answer for GunGFu against the Liberators. He has his 4 Stalkers. Oh no, dude. And that's just a cancel on that Nexus. The Liberator's gonna siege up forward. There are a couple of Archons too, but really nothing to deal with these 4 Liberators. GunGFu's gonna go for it, but I don't think this is gonna work particularly well. Disruptor Nova's connecting a little bit, but the Liberators and the tanks stand strong, even though the bio's getting trimmed off. Some Zealots running for a counterattack do get some STV kills. This third base is in some trouble. Liberator's gonna siege up back at home to defend it. That means the reinforcements are gonna be delayed here. Tanks getting taken down. Can the Liberators get taken down, or is GunGFu just gonna walk by them? Looks like he will eventually kill them. Cleans up the tanks, cleans up the Liberators, pushes this army away, but Spirit still, I mean, he is 50 supply ahead right now. 20 of that's in workers, 30 of that's in army. And Spirit pulls back to his 5 base setup, where he is just rallying units out. He's got a nuke on the way. Oh, Spirit. He's already done the POLT and snipe 3 Nexuses. Can he now get a nuke on the Protoss for us before this game ends? DT's looking for some damage in here, but Spirit cleans the bup. He's going to get a missile turret and a sensor tower. Scans to finish off this DT. Oh, wait. He blinks away. Powerful blink. That's going to give time for the missile turret to finish up, so. GunGFu out in the middle of the map. Ooh. Ghost trying to get sniped here. Stays alive. Looks like it will eventually die. Now we get a Ghost out there for that nuke. SCV's just getting gunned down here. Spirit just doesn't care. He's moving forward. Drop the nuke. Just put the nuke like here. Put the nuke here. Ah, it's not gonna matter. GG's get called. No nuke for us. But Spirit gets the 2-1 victory. I mean, what a game. That's a sick game from Spirit, man. GunGFu on the back foot the entire game. Even from the start. That Cyclone Marine push. And Spirit will be the one to move on in the bracket.